Alright, so this is going to be a video, you can probably tell, on complexion. So this is one of my foundation routines. I have a couple depending on what I'm going to be doing or where I'm going to be going or anything like that. So this is my, like, I'm going shopping, going to a movie, which I am actually doing tonight, kind of routines. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. So it's a little bit simpler. I'm not really like going out. So I have cleansed my face, I've hydrated my face, and I am ready to start my complexion. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my NARS Pro Prime oil-free primer. I always put on a primer. I think this is very, very important for my skin because it really gives me a good base to start with. The other thing too, if you're a makeup artist and you're doing makeup on somebody else, then you can get a feel for their face if you put it on with your hands. So that's nice as well. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to prep my lip with the DIOR Lip Glow. So very recently I got some really great training on a whole bunch of different brands, and DIOR actually uses this as a prep step. So it's really kind of cool how they do that. Brings some color to the lip and just kind of hydrates, lots of good vitamins in there as well. So I really love this stuff. It is kind of like the O-Gloss in a way. So, but a good prep step for somebody who has really dry, dehydrated, flaky lips. It's going to help go on there, soothe everything down. So the next thing I'm going to use is my NARS tinted moisturizer. I use the color Finland, which is the lightest one. And I start with about that much, kind of rub it in between my fingers, and then I just kind of press it onto the skin. And I might go back and add more, but I kind of just want to see how much coverage this is going to give me right off the bat. And I do have this little guy right here because I had those brand trainings. You're taking your makeup off all the time, and it was bad news all around for my skin. So I'm having some minor issues with my skin. Okay, so next thing is going to be my concealer. Now I kind of want to do like a review slash like comparison in this video. So there's two things that I've been using. One of them is the Maybelline Dream Lumi, and I got it in ivory because yeah. And then the other one is the Makeup Forever HD concealer. When I first saw this, I didn't like it, and what I didn't like about it was I kept using the product that would get stuck in this little dewy dad thing, and it would dry out. So I was really annoyed because I was like, well, it's such a cakey product. And I still don't like the packaging because you still have to kind of like click all the dried product out. So I don't really like that. You kind of have to like click it out and then like take a Kleenex and kind of wipe it out. But the product itself is absolutely amazing. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the HD concealer because I am using it in shade 315, and I like to use it as a highlighter. So it's my skin tone, but like a little bit more yellow because I'm so fair. It's really hard for me to find one that is lighter than my skin tone. So I just kind of like paint it on like that and then press it into the skin. And I'm kind of pressing up and in and then dragging this down and out. So up and in, right to underneath the lash line. And the more you kind of like press and roll this in, the less amount of creasing you're gonna get. So right up into the corner here and kind of feathering it out. So it gives this really nice highlight. Now on the camera I know that it's showing that it's like crazy bright because I have really bright lights on, but the lighting in this place, I'm telling you, is so bad you wouldn't be able to see anything. So there's that side. So that's the HD concealer. It gives like the same kind of like glossy finish, satin finish, I guess, that the foundation does. I like it because the two foundations really blend in well together. So that is a plus. Then the other one that I use, the Maybelline one, so you just kind of click it up a couple times. And I'm going to do the same thing. You can see they're really, really similar in color. This one is a little bit more stiff to work with. Like, I find that I have to work harder to blend it out. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just different, right? I find that it's a little bit more stable and a little bit more of an intense highlight, and it's a lot cheaper. So again, kind of using that same technique and just kind of pressing and buffing into the skin. Now I'm doing the triangle like this. It gives lift to the face because I like a little bit of contour and a little bit of highlight. Even on days where I'm not really going, you know, all out, I just like a little bit of something. So I like my eyes to pop a little bit. I am going to set this, but I really want to give it time to kind of settle in, and I'm going to press it in again and again and again, because the more you press and roll that into the skin, the longer it's going to stay. I got a little friend down here. My kitten, by the way. So I have my lip glow still on. The next product I'm going to use is by Dior as well, and this is their Universal Lip Liner. So it's a clear lip liner, and I'm just going to use it right on the edges of my lips because I want to wear a red lip. Now this has really, really great ingredients in it. It actually helps plump up any lines that you might have along the lips and fill them in. The cool thing for me, I guess, is that I have like really large pores around my lips, which is kind of weird, and I know that. But I find that if anyone ever tries to overdraw my lips, or even if I try and line my lips, it shows all of them. So I like that this is like a universal liner, so I'm still getting the effect of a lip liner, but I don't have to see it. But also, if I wanted to actually line my lips and do like a red, really bold lip, I could, because it actually fills them in. It's the coolest thing. Anyways, the next thing I'm going to use is my NARS Multiple in Orgasm. So, I'm lying to you. The next thing I'm going to use is my NARS Laguna bronzer. The reason I'm using these, again, I got my awesome brand trainings. Everyone knows what Laguna bronzer looks like. And so I got these awesome brand trainings, and I just want to try some of the tips and tricks. So I'm going to take my Laguna bronzer, and I'm actually going to work this down and out. So what they taught us was that your skin actually grows this way. And if you're working with the natural texture of the skin, you want to work down and out, which I've never done before. So I'm just love trying new things. Whether or not they work for you, whether or not you believe that the skin grows out this way, is neither here nor there. But definitely a very cool tip, and I actually find that the application is a lot more natural right on the first go. So I'm using bronzer as a contour because this bronzer in particular is cool enough. If you have a really warm bronzer, it's not going to work, but for my skin tone, it still works. Plus, I'm not going absolutely crazy on it, so that's how that goes. I had to do like 3 takes of that because I said a bad word. That was ridiculous. Anyways, okay, so the next thing I'm going to use is my NARS Orgasm Multiple. Again, NARS says move down and out with this in short strokes. Down and out in short strokes. So, just like that, and then use your fingers to blend it out. I have to tell you, I've never gotten these multiples to work. I love NARS more than anything, but I've never gotten these to look good. And I have to tell you, I am actually kind of enjoying this. actually quite like that. I'm really shiny right now, so I need to do some powdering. But aside from that, I actually quite like the way that this looks. Okay, so there's a couple, well, my favorite powder on the planet right now is the NARS, but I got a new one, the Amazing Cosmetics powder. This is like a little sample of it. And so I'm going to use that one right underneath the eye. And it's a little bit brightening as well. Sorry, I'm using this like fluffy concealer brush from Sephora, which is amazing. And I'm finding that I'm not going to have to do like a highlight color because this powder is yellow toned enough that I think it's going to give me enough highlight. So there is most of my complexion. Now I just want to deal with this little guy, and I'm going to use the Camouflage palette from Makeup Forever. And if I can open it, there we go. I'm actually not going to use too much of the green. I'm just going to use like that much on my brush, and I'm going to smear it onto my hand, and then I'm going to take the lightest color also. And because I'm just doing like one little area, if I was doing more of my face, then I would probably use more, but I'm using like the tiniest little amount because that's all I need. My concealer brush, these brushes are all from Sephora, and I'm just mixing them together on my hand, just like that. And then I'm just going to press around that area. And then just feather it out. And I have actually, my skin is so angry at me right now. Taking your makeup off like 20 million times does not help anything. Alright. A little bit of setting powder. And good to go. Okay, so that is my basic complexion look. That's all.